Hey, friends, welcome to Your Health, Your Way. I'm Dr. James Ross, and before we go anywhere, I want to tell you what this podcast is really all about. Yes, we're going to be talking about health, but not just from the angle of like dietary plans or lab results. We're going to go deeper than that. This podcast is really about wholeness, mind, body, and spirit. This podcast is for people who want to live long, but also live well. For people who want to wake up to their lives, not just push through them. For people, maybe like you've reached a point where success just isn't enough if it costs your peace, and where burnout isn't a badge of honor anymore. Your Health, Your Way exists to help you live a meaningful, integrative, and purpose driven life. One where your health reflects your values and your soul is just as strong as your resume. Whether you're a high performer, a parent just trying to keep it together, a young person searching for purpose, or someone in the second half of your life wondering if you've missed it. I want you to hear this clearly. It's not too late. You're not too far gone. You're not too old. And by the same token, you're not too young to start planning for the rest of your life. This podcast is proof that now is the perfect time to start living more aligned with God, with your health, with your values, and with the life that you actually want. For me, that journey started out early. As a kid, I used to visit the special education classrooms with my mom. She was a special ed teacher and counselor, and she had a heart of gold. And I would sit in the back of her room and just watch her treat every child with dignity, no matter what their ability was. That was my first exposure to compassion, to deep empathy. And I didn't have a name for it then, but something in me came alive. And I knew I really wanted to help people. I really wanted to care for people, to do something that actually mattered. Eventually, that desire turned into a love for science, and medicine gave me a way to combine both. I worked hard, and I had the drive, and I wanted to achieve, and I did. I became a doctor, and I have served thousands of patients, built a career. I've grown a practice. And from the outside, everything looked like winning. But something was missing. I remember the exact season when it all came crashing down. When I had the status, the money, the home, the cars, but none of it could really quiet what was happening inside of me. I had success, but I didn't have peace. I had results, but I didn't have rest. And the more I kept moving, the more I was running from my pain, from childhood wounds, from unresolved grief, from the pressure to be everything for everyone. I'd given my life to helping others, but I hadn't slowed down long enough to ask how I was actually doing. See, I know what it's like to feel like you have to keep performing, to keep producing, to keep up the appearance that you're okay, even when you're not. I know what it's like to be the person that everyone depends on and feel like you can't depend on anyone yourself. Eventually, I found myself at the end of myself, broken, exhausted, grieving, and finally willing to let God meet me where I was. And that's when the real healing started, not just in my body, but in my soul, in my identity, in the places I had ignored for far too long. Now that I'm older, my focus has significantly changed. I still work hard, I still serve, but I'm not chasing the same things. I'm not trying to impress anyone or outrun myself anymore. I want to live aligned. I want to live whole. I want to finish my race with joy. not just years, but meaning. And I want that for you too. So whether you're just getting started or wondering if it's too late to turn things around, I'm here to tell you it's not. You're never too late. And you're never too young. Never too young to start building a life that reflects who you really are. And you're never too old to choose healing, alignment, and purpose. So really, this podcast is, I would say, an invitation to slow down, to get honest, to care for your body, to ask better questions, and to live with intention. Because the world doesn't need more perfect people, it needs more present ones. And you don't have to burn out to wake up. So welcome to the journey. I'm Dr. James Ross, and this is Your Health, Your Way. Let's begin.